Hi, we are live at Lakithia Nicole Talk. I am your girl, Lakithia Nicole, and we have special guests with us, Sasha Delvalle. Sasha, so listen, I don't like butchering people names. So you
No,
tell
you said
them,
it right,
I
girl.
said
You
it
said it
right?
right.
Oh
You
my
said it right.
goodness. Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have you here. My first thing was I did not want to butcher your name. So that was extremely important for me. You said I didn't. So we're just going to go right into it. So, Sasha, I want to first thank you for being a part of the show. I've done so much research, so we're going to really, really, really get into your story. So,
Great. I'm ready.
yes, yes, yes. So, Sasha, we see, on the story, the goal is to tell the story of the guest. And we see this glitz and the glam. And I remember reaching out to you and I said, oh, you're this actress, you're this model, producer. And you said to me, which really stood out, you said, yeah, that is what I am, but I do have a story. That's what I needed to hear. So, speaking of that, we're going to go back to the beginning. Where did this beautiful, glamorous journey begin?
Okay, so I really started in this industry when I was a dancer. So I'm a professional salsa dancer. And at the
Awesome.
age of 12, I started traveling all over the world.
Mm,
So that was when everything pretty much started for me.
okay.
And I did that for about 6 years. I've been to Italy, Germany, London. I did tours all over the world,
Wow.
which was amazing. It was such an
Yes.
incredible experience.
Yes.
And I feel like, just traveling, learning new cultures, eating different foods, it just did a number on me.
Yeah.
So it was something that I always cherish and I carry with me. And
Mm-hmm.
that was my start. I did a music video and magazines around 16, 17 years old. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say like 17, getting fresh out of high school. I did a magazine. I did Double XL magazine, King magazine, Show magazine, music videos, because during that time, the music videos were popping. Like it
So,
was a thing.
gotcha. So, take you back. So that was the grind for you, like the music videos and magazines.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like I said, initially it started dancing. I did that for about 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no Instagram. There
Yeah.
was none of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think there might have been like MySpace or something, or maybe not even when I was traveling.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
So I left that. I did it for about 6 years. I enjoyed it, and then I went into the entertainment industry. It was
Wow.
something that I've always wanted to do. Something I always wanted to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came so natural for me because I was always around
Yeah.
these kind of people in the industry.
Yeah.
So I did, like I said, I did the magazines, I did the music video, but
Mm-hmm.
it was not until I did the movie
Yes.
with 50 Cent called Before I Self Destruct. I was 19 years old when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the biggest thing for me.
Yes.
And so I did the movie with 50 Cent
Mm-hmm.
and I played Princess in Before I Self Destruct. And that was such a great experience. That was my first acting job. I didn't have any experience.
Wow.
I was kind of bouncing off of 50's energy, and he reassured me that everything was going to be okay and that I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And I met a lot of good people, a lot of good actors, and it was just amazing. So I was on set for 2 weeks. I shot the movie. I
Mm-hmm.
played the lead role called Princess and Before I Self Destruct. And it was just amazing. Then I went on to do 2 seasons with Nick Cannon for Wildin' Out.
Okay.
That was so much fun. And then I went to do Uncommon Sense with Charlemagne the God from The Breakfast Club. And then during that period, I was just thinking of a way to transition. I also was a bartender in New York. And
So,
I don't know if you heard of the girls called the Startenders.
yes, the Starlet. So before we go into that, we gotta touch on this first role? You know, we gotta
Yes,
get
let's
into
go.
that. Yes, yes. So Sasha, I want you to tell me, you know, landing that role, was there a grind in order to do so? Because what we want the people to see is that behind the glitz, the glams, the success, that for everybody there's an infancy stage, and every great story, it comes with that. You know, it doesn't just happen overnight. So I wanted to get into the grind of that. So in order for you to get that role, was there a grind?
Yes,
Okay.
there was a grind. And it's pretty much just being where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I did another interview earlier today, and I was speaking to the kids from a Chicago high school, and like I was telling them, it's about networking,
Yeah.
just being in the right space at the
Yeah.
right time.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough through the music videos, through magazines, that I was able to meet these people, and
Yeah.
I still connected with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then what they did was that anytime an event was going on, they will always let me know.
Yeah.
So I would go, and then I meet someone else,
Yeah.
maybe somebody in radio,
Yeah.
maybe a producer. So
Mm-hmm.
I was always in the space.
Yeah.
I was always out networking,
Mm-hmm.
and I just had to go.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I couldn't get to my goal one way, I'll
Mm-hmm.
just try another way until
Exactly.
I get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely recommend everyone to just network, get out there, be around the people doing the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
Be around like-minded people,
Yeah.
because those are the people that are going to motivate you to open a business or look at things differently. And like, honestly, I never thought that I would be behind a camera. And now
Mm.
look.
Yeah, yeah. So I see that you were networking along the journey, meeting people, and then like the process of landing before I self-destruct. How did you get the role? Like, did you go in and audition? Was it hundreds of people? Like, how did that process go?
Okay, so I did a music video for 50 Cent called I Like the Way She Do It and Rider Part 2.
Okay.
And when I did that music video, he was in the beginning stages of writing
Mm-hmm.
this script because he wrote it, directed it, and
Mm-hmm.
starred in it. So he was in that process, the very beginning. So he told a group of us that were in the music video, hey, I'm working on another project. If you ladies want to audition, I'm holding auditions on this date, this time, and give it a shot.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, wow, this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
So I went, and there was like hundreds of people,
Oh,
and I was ready. I
wow.
was ready. Like, I wanted that more than anything.
Yeah, yeah. That's
And
incredible.
I went up there, I auditioned, I
Mm-hmm.
nailed it.
Wow.
I became that character. Like, it was
Mm.
undeniable. Like, when I walked in there, I was Princess.
Yes.
And it's funny because that's something that he said right after. Oh, when you walked in as Princess.
Yeah.
And you just have to get in that zone, and you have to have the confidence. And
Yeah.
if this is what you want to do, go for it. Give it your all.
Yeah. And so, how was it working with 50? And being that was your first role, like, how did it feel? Because, I mean, most people don't get a role beside a multi platinum, he is an entrepreneur. He is, all of these great things. Like, how was that working with him for you, being your first role out of the jump?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Am I?
Can
Okay,
you
so
repeat it again?
yes. So I said most people, their first role is not working with this triple platinum artist, entrepreneur. So how was that for you working alongside 50 Cent himself?
You see, like, what are the odds,
Right?
so that's the reason, like, and my life has consisted of things like that, being
Mm,
around the right people
mm,
at the right time, being
mm-hmm.
prepared, being ready.
Yeah.
you know when I did when I did the movie with Fifth, I didn't have no acting experience,
Wow.
so that being my first role, it was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But again, it was so new to me. I was like immersed in this whole world on
Wow.
set, and it was just, I'm like, yes, I could see myself here. I really love this. And, you know, it was a lot of discipline
Yeah.
because you have to read lines and,
Yes.
you know, you have to focus. It's not about, you know, hey, I got this and let me just half-ass it.
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot of lines that I had to memorize. And like I said, it was my first time, but
Yeah.
being around great people and being around people that have the experience, you could kind of bounce off of each other. And that's
Yeah.
pretty much what we did.
Gotcha. So did 50 give you any advice, being it was your first role, like any pointers for you to really, really nail it?
Yeah, just to relax,
Mm-hmm.
and focus
Mm-hmm.
and just give it my all and have fun with it.
Yeah, incredible. And so before I self-destruct, what was the next thing in this journey to lead to catapult you to the success that you are at this point? What was your next, situation?
So my next situation was meeting Nick Cannon.
Oh, okay.
So I went for an audition.
Uh-huh.
Nick Cannon was having auditions in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm based out of New Jersey.
Okay.
So New York is only like 10 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
And he had an audition, and I was like, sure. This
Yeah.
was at the very beginning. I was like really hungry. I was taking every opportunity that came my way. Obviously, if I was cool with it, but I was just taking opportunities
Yeah.
after opportunities. And I
Right.
was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I wasn't
As you
afraid,
should. Yeah.
you know? So I auditioned
Mm-hmm.
for Nick Cannon for Wildin' Out. And he was like, man, you're amazing. I would love to have you part of this. And I was like, sure. So I went on to do 2 seasons. Then we traveled because we did a tour.
Mm-hmm.
So he selected a few girls from Wildin' Out. And we went to Hawaii. We went to the
Wow.
Bahamas. We did a whole tour. And that was
Incredible.
amazing. And it was like a Wildin' Out tour.
Yeah.
And it was just great. So one thing
Wow.
led on to another. And then that's when I did Uncommon Sense with Charlemagne. And
Okay.
I did, there was another show I did with Charlemagne. It was like a skit. It was called Stoner's Bowl, but it was
Okay.
also for MTV. So I'm just, you know, fortunate enough to be around the heavy hitters and the power
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, I was watching last night an interview. I was researching because that's a part of my process. I saw where you were talking about the star tending and you were bartending. I'm not sure who the interview was with, but you were saying how you did that after the film. Can we
Yes.
get into that because that's part of this journey, that
Yeah.
of yours. So how
It
did
is.
that go? Yeah.
So it was crazy because that kind of just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was just in line to just happen next.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment where I already did the movie and I thought, hey, well, this is going to pick up for me. I'm going to do another movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the management that I had, you know, I don't like to blame anyone, but I didn't feel like I had the proper management that could have kept it going.
Yes, I understand.
So when they brought the opportunity to me about bartending and making a lot of money, I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll give it
Yeah.
a shot.
Yeah.
And then during that period, we created something. My management at the time and I, along with the girls, we created Startenders.
Mm-hmm.
And that went crazy.
You guys created
like that,
Startenders?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we
I
created
never
the
knew
Startenders
that.
movement.
So you,
Yeah,
oh,
I'm an original Startender. Yep.
wow, incredible.
Yeah.
I've heard about the Starlets, or are they the Starlets?
Starlets is the name of the club. And
Okay.
then we created a crew of girls that also were in music videos and magazines. And we kind of segue it to the bartending life.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing for us. Like,
Yeah.
I did not think I would go that way, but
Mm-hmm.
the money that we made
Yeah.
and the impact that we made in the bartending world, like
Yeah.
we literally changed the game when it came
Wow.
to, bartenders
Yeah.
and how they make their money. And Yeah, so
Absolutely.
we pretty much started that. Yeah.
Wow. Now, Sasha, was that like in between the film of Before I Self Destruct? Was that like 5 years later, or how long after did you get into the star tending?
I would say so I was like 19 when I did the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would say maybe 4 or 5 years later.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
And
like
in
4 or 5 years later.
and you had already
So
did.
I did the movie.
Yes.
Then I did 2 seasons of Wild 'N Now.
Gotcha.
And then I did the bartending.
Gotcha.
And then when I stopped doing the bartending, I was the first one to go
Okay.
because I'm like, okay, this is cool,
Yeah.
but I have a goal.
Yeah, you have
And I'm
purpose
only here to
too.
make money right now
Yeah.
and just to continue to stay relevant and
Mm-hmm.
stay in the culture and in the industry.
And I
So
think
I always had a plan.
so. Did you feel somewhere like, because sometimes people think it's just about money, but it's deeper than money. It's about purpose. And I feel like for you to walk away from all that money and say, I got to get on path with my career. I feel like, you know what I mean? Because we can't really make careers out of that won't be lasting, right? The starlets, I
Yeah.
mean, the star tending. So you
Mhm.
decided that you wanted to, really, really, really concentrate on what your passion. Is that what happened?
That's right. So
Okay.
a little bit of my passion because I've always liked to just be in front of the camera and
Mm-hmm.
acting.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? This is cool. I'm making good money, but I want to do something more meaningful.
Yeah.
I want to give back. Like I want to help. I
Yeah.
want to just I was just a little bit different,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I knew once I got in there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay here for a little bit. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
stack my money up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get this money and make my exit.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Right.
a lot of girls still bartend. More
Right.
power to them. Is a lot of money in that.
Yeah.
And you could branch off and do
Mm-hmm.
other things with the money.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
So when I left, I created my company called Overtime Productions, which is a production company.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, I opened it. And again, I was making the transition of leaving the bartending world
Mm-hmm.
and getting more into the space of what my new life would be.
Yeah.
And, I had to empower myself
Okay.
because when you have the power and you control it, no one
Yeah.
can take that away from you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what I did was I learned the ins and outs of the production side. So where someone could say, hey, I have a production company. I do this, I do that. They have to hire production people to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
So what I did was I learned how to shoot. I learned how to edit.
Wow.
And now I have the power. So
Right?
right now I could do a show on anyone right now.
Yeah. Love that.
And
Yeah.
that's important. So
Yes, it
whatever
is.
industry you in, whatever business you in, learn it.
Right.
Because if not, you're going to always need someone. You're always going to be paying for the services and you're not really going to get the bulk of everything.
Right.
Because you just have so many people doing it for you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that
Right.
at all.
Right.
But if you can learn the ins and outs of your business, do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to depend on anyone. Then you could just move and do what you want to do, how you want to do it.
Exactly. And I want to touch on that because, in the beginning, like I said, you talked about, I remember reaching out saying, you're an actress, you're a model, and also, you've done all of these different shows. So let's talk about the fact that you are the owner of your own company. You do have your own business now. You transition even from the starlets to now being your own boss, pretty much, right?
Yes.
So let's get into that.
It's a great experience. It's still a new experience and new space for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like learn as you grow.
Yeah.
Right. So the best thing that you could do is just put yourself in the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't put themselves in the game because they're thinking about everything so much. And if they don't have everything, if they don't have everything together, they won't start.
Yeah. Right?
We live in a new day and age where you could do it all.
Right.
You
right.
know, you could, if you don't know something, you go on Google, you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to learn how to cook, you go on YouTube and you learn how to cook. Like, we're living in that space now. And a lot of people are creating online businesses. A lot of people are waking up and saying, hey, I need to create something. I need to own something.
Yes.
And the best advice I could give is just, even if you're new to this space, do as much research as you can and just take the leap.
And
just go for it
and
learn as you grow.
Exactly. You said something too just now. So can you tell them how important it is to just start without, all of this? Because a lot of times we limit ourselves because we put limitations saying, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. I'm sure you didn't have everything you needed to start this company, Overtime Productions. But tell them how important it is to just start and get moving in that purpose.
So it's super important to just start. Even if it's something with the name, start with the name. What do you want to call your business?
Yeah.
What means something to you?
Yeah.
Play around with it. Use your name.
Right.
Use some, I don't know, just get creative with it,
Yeah.
but just start.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if you don't put yourself in a game, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Exactly. And now,
and it's okay, because I'm going to just say one thing.
Yes, go ahead.
A lot of people are afraid to start because they don't want to look like they're starting from scratch or they're starting from the bottom.
Then
That's
it's
the
okay.
wrong mentality to have.
Right. Talk about it.
Wrong mentality.
Exactly.
And it's okay, because as you grow older, you start to understand things, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I didn't know this stuff. As I got older, I'm like, okay, I'm watching everything, scoping everything out. I'm seeing how everything works.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I could do this.
Yes.
And then I just started doing my research and started learning. And it's hard. It's going to take a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
But if you give it your all, it's so rewarding.
Yes.
So rewarding.
So rewarding. And exactly. So I want to go back, and then we're going to go, back to the Overtime Productions. But this is part of I'm not sure where in the story I saw you actually saying, you had some time in Los Angeles. And you being based out on the East Coast. Can we talk about that Los Angeles experience? Because that's where I live. I'm actually out here in New York. I've been here for the last year, but LA is home for me. It's been, for the last 20 years. So can you explain how was your experience in Los Angeles? And because as a woman, what they don't realize is that what you did, I commend you by becoming your own boss, because that way you take the limitations off of yourself. Can you talk about how that experience in Los Angeles was, and, just finding yourself in the midst of that?
That's an amazing question.
Thank you.
And the reason, okay, so I'm going to give you, it's two parts to that.
Great.
Okay. So when I was in LA, I was thinking of making the move because of my acting. And I'm like, that's just the place to be.
Yeah.
So I gave it a try. And during that time, like, I met a lot of people, but they were more into me than business.
That's LA.
So that kind of gave me like a little bad taste of LA. And like after that, I kind of gave LA a break. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't like it. I don't know too many people out here. A lot of people swear there's somebody and it's that could do this and could do that. And if you're not from out there, they could swindle you. They could get you. And especially they know how to pull your heartstrings. This is something I'm passionate about. This is something I love.
Yeah.
So, I had a few little run-ins with like producers and directors and say, oh, we love your look. We would love to work with you. And then it stays right there.
It stays right there. Exactly.
So, I had a little bad taste in my mouth about LA. But the good thing that came out of LA was
Okay.
that I used to go a lot to Vegas.
Okay.
And during one of my trips to driving to Vegas and coming back to LA,
Mm-hmm.
it's a nice little drive, you know, that 4-hour drive, straight desert.
Yeah.
I'm listening to music, and I love hip hop.
Me
I
too.
love rap music.
Same.
And I'm driving and listening to Nipsey Hussle.
Mm.
And he had like this mixtape called Mailbox Money. And in that mixtape, there was a song called Overtime.
Wow.
And I'm listening to it. And I'm like,
Wow.
wow. So I'm driving. I have all this time zoning out, listening to music. And I'm like, wow. That's when I was like, overtime. I need to call my production company overtime
Wow.
because I'm gonna work overtime
Wow.
to deliver and
Yeah.
get it done, get the job done.
That's incredible.
So
Oh
I'm
my
gonna go
God.
above and beyond. I'm gonna work
Mm.
overtime. So I'm
Mm.
thankful for that. You know,
That
like
name is
ideas
powerful.
and these things come out of nowhere. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm just thankful for every step that, you know, that I've taken, and good, bad, because you know
Yes.
what? As long as I keep moving forward and I take the good, get rid of the bad, I'm gonna always be straight. I'm gonna be good.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, that name is powerful. So, on that journey, on that ride to Las Vegas, you created the name Overtime Productions.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. I absolutely
Yeah.
love the name. I love that you get when you hear the name, this is someone that is serious, that is hardworking, that is driven, and like you said, they're gonna put in that work, that overtime work. So now, is that the end of the Los Angeles experience? Just, those few things in there?
Well, yes, for that period of time when I was out there.
Yeah.
Now I have a great taste for it.
Okay.
I'm good. I
Okay.
love LA.
Uh-huh.
I've been working out there a lot. But
Okay.
it's different now that I have power. And that
Yes.
I have the control. And that I'm not
Exactly.
asking, hey, do you have a role for me? Can I audition? No. I'm creating my own stuff. I have shows that I have a rap show called Respect the Flow that you guys could check out on the Forest Bias Network. And I just released the first episode today with an artist
Incredible.
called K. Smith, which is Will Smith's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rapper. And you know, I love to showcase new talent, up and coming artists. I'm all in. Like, I love helping people.
Okay.
You know, so during the whole experience with LA, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't let it affect me.
Yeah.
I came back this time and I went to LA and I got to work right away.
Wow. Incredible.
So I've been working. I've been shooting a lot. You know, I shot a cooking show out there with Charles Oakley that's getting ready to come out. Well, it'll be out during the summertime.
Okay.
And we shot a few episodes in LA. We were able to shoot a few episodes in Atlanta. So I just been working.
Incredible.
And like I said, the minute I put myself in power, I'm good.
Right.
I don't have to ask anyone.
And that's what
if I want
people
to create
need.
a show, I could create a show.
Exactly.
If I want to give you a show, I could give you a show. You know, and we're gonna do it for the people.
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially TV. I do digital stuff because there's a lot of red tape when it comes to things getting done on TV.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they might not like a name, and they might not like the cast that you have, and they might want to swap it out.
Yeah.
And that's your baby. If that's something you created, you don't want nobody tampering with that.
Exactly.
You know, so in the digital side, we could curse, we could do whatever we want. And the shows that we're producing, we give you, like, we come for you. Like, if you're dope, you have something hot going on, you're buzzing, we're going to tailor it around you. I don't know if you saw this clip with Boosie Badass. It went viral last year.
Okay.
So we have Boosie Badass. We have Lamar and Sabrina. We just released the reality show for them.
So
that did well.
I see. I actually did an event with Lamar and what's her name? Sabrina, yes, back in Los Angeles in 2019. I want you to talk about the shows, because that's one of the shows I've seen that you are a part of. Can we bring the people up to date now with the journey as far as the different shows that you have, produced and, brought to under your production company?
Yes. So I have a partnership with the Forest Bias Network,
Okay.
and I'm an executive producer for them. So
Mhm.
any ideas, anybody, if you have any show ideas, you could definitely reach out to me. And so yeah, so like I said, I have partners, and the first project that we worked on together was Lamar and Sabrina.
Oh,
So
wow.
then after that came the Boosie Badass.
Okay.
And we also have a cooking show in the can, which is going to be great for all
Wow.
the sports enthusiasts. Like if you're a fan of sports, you're going to love this. We have Scottie Pippen.
Wow.
And it's dope because we have Charles Oakley cooking for them. And we have like a little sit down interview with them. We have Lisa Ray. We just have so many people on it. So it's going to be
Really?
really, really good.
Wow. So let me make sure I heard that right. Your first show was with Sabrina and Lamar?
Yeah, the first show that I produced with my partners
And
was Lamar and Sabrina. Yes.
and that's under Overtime Productions?
Oh, that's a partnership. So
Okay.
I partnered with Phoenix Digital. That's
Uh-huh.
another production company, but
Okay.
it's through the Forest Bias Network. That's where you could find all the
People.
shows
Okay.
on that platform.
Gotcha. So what exactly was your first show that you guys did under Overtime Productions?
It's that one.
That is huge. That's what
Yeah.
I was trying to see. Like,
Yeah.
so that's
And
incredible,
I
Sasha.
shot my partner and I
Okay.
had my camera, he had his camera, and we just shot the whole show, just him and I.
Wow, that's incredible. Being under your umbrella, your first show is a
Yeah.
show with, Lamar to me is an A-list. I don't care what anyone says. He was with everything he's doing. So for you,
Mm-hmm.
that's like huge success. So that was the first show. And then your second show was the show that you let the I saw the clip on Instagram today.
That's my personal show.
Oh, okay. So let's get
So
into your personal
yes,
show too.
that's a show that I'm the host of.
Okay.
The first project was Lamar and Sabrina. I'm
Gotcha.
actually shooting, so I'm one of the producers on that
Wow.
show.
How was that
And then
experience?
it was great. I mean, it did so well.
Wow.
I mean, the experience was amazing. I learned so much.
I'm
I
sure.
mean, I've been learning the ins and outs. I know how to hold the boom. I can mic
Wow.
people. Like I learned everything in the production side.
Wow.
So it was just great. I'm just trying to get better. You know, Wendy Williams picked it up. She talked
Wow.
about it. It was on
Yeah.
the Hot Topics.
Oh,
So I'm
incredible.
excited about that. And then we
Yeah.
have Boosie Badass that we due to COVID, we had to stop production on that,
Yeah.
but we'll resume shortly.
Yeah.
And that went crazy. That had the internet in a frenzy. The whole Boosie
Wow.
Badass.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure. And then now up to speed is the current show that you're working on, right? With the
Correct. That I just dropped today. It's called Respect the Flow.
Okay.
And it's pretty much I go into it's like a sort of like a day in a life.
Okay.
So I follow the artists. I go to their hood, see where they're from.
Wow.
I'll follow them to the studio. So if they're laying a track down, if they're, you know, going through beats with their producers or, engineers, like I kind of get all of that.
Wow, incredible. Do you have all your rappers for the show already?
Well, I've shot a few episodes already, but
Okay.
I'm still looking.
You're still looking?
I'm always looking to shoot more talent.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I've shot a few episodes. My first episode is out now. It's called Respect the Flow, and it's on the Forest Bias Network.
Okay.
And you could also catch the Lamar and Sabrina show on there as well.
Awesome. That's
Mm-hmm.
incredible. That's incredible. So now, and then what about the interview you did with the K Smith? That's what show is that?
That's the Respect the Flow.
Oh, so he's one of them too. Gotcha. Now
Yes.
I get
So
it. Okay.
we started it off with him,
Okay.
and he's the first one up. He has an album dropping today, So
Oh,
we
wow.
made sure that we dropped it with his album.
That's
And
dope.
yeah,
Dope. Dope. Got you. Okay. Got
I'm
you.
gonna have some dope female rappers on there as well.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually shooting tomorrow. I have a girl from New York.
Okay.
I don't want to say the name,
Okay.
but she's really dope. And I can't wait to bring her on Respect the Flow for you guys to see her. She's awesome.
Incredible, incredible. And so, is there anything? I feel like you're a woman of many hats at this point. So, is there anything that you're not doing at this moment? So, what is right now? I know you're currently still working on this show. Are you doing anything else right now? Like,
Yes, I'm glad you said that. So here you
perfect.
go. So
Wow.
I also partnered up with McBride Stories, and
Okay.
they're a children's publishing company,
Mm-hmm.
and they do children's books. So the first book that I did, it's an Amazon #1 bestseller.
Oh,
This
wow.
is the first book.
Okay.
This is Mason. He's a rapper turned
Mm.
activist.
Mm-hmm.
I had TMZ pick it up. They loved the book. This
Wow.
comes in English and in Spanish.
Incredible.
And I'm working on something right now for my Latinos.
Okay.
Something really dope. So I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on. And like I said, this is the first book through my partnership with McBride Stories.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys need to check it out. We break
Absolutely.
down the Bill of Rights, the
Okay.
10 Commandments, and it's just dope. It's dope, and it's important because a lot of kids, black and brown kids, you know, we don't have books for us.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the numbers, I believe it's like 11.6,
Mm-hmm.
where they represent African Americans.
Yeah.
And then for Latinos, it's like 5.3.
Wow.
And then it's like 42% for white people
Mm.
or Americans,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big gap there. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to change that. I feel
Yeah.
like it starts with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we need to see more people like us
Yeah.
being
Absolutely.
represented. We have
Yeah.
stories too,
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
So this was very important for me when I partnered up with them. It was extremely important for me because I feel like it's the kids. The kids are the future. And if
Yes.
we could give them good stuff to read and they could see people like us, this is perfect.
Yes, absolutely. Now, can you
And a
tell
lot
us?
of people don't know about those numbers.
No, they
People
don't.
need to know about those numbers. And I'm going to make
Yes.
sure that I let everyone know about those numbers because we need to change that.
And can you tell them again where they can get this book, the audience?
Sure. So you could get it on Amazon.
Okay.
So you could get it on Amazon.com and
Okay.
get it shipped to you right away. They have it in
Incredible.
English and in Spanish.
Awesome, awesome. I wanted to also talk to you because you seem like you're doing a lot, and there's no guess that with the current state of the world, with the pandemic, I wanted to know, has it shifted you in any way, the way that you navigate and get things done? To me, it seems like you're staying busy, But can you tell me how this has affected you, your business, the pandemic, and everything?
It really hasn't affected
Okay.
it. In fact, like when it comes to the production side, things are pretty much booming because it's a content business.
Okay.
So a lot of people are home and a lot of people need to watch something.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are binge watching things on Netflix,
Yeah.
Hulu.
Yeah.
And then here we go and we're doing stuff online and dominating the digital side.
Yeah.
So there's always, content is needed. Content
Yes.
is king, So I was able to still work, of course, using the COVID guidelines and making sure everyone is safe. But I was still able to work. And like I said, it's a content business. So everyone's on their phones. Everyone is, okay, I just binge watched this. What's next?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been pretty well, actually.
Incredible. That's good. It sounds like everything is moving. I know back in LA with production, a lot of the shows have been, delayed. They're not able to get moving. So it's beautiful that you were able to navigate, on the East Coast and just keep business running. Now, is there anything, Sasha, that you would like your audience to know before we close out? Is there any other thing that you want them to know that you're working on?
Right now, I'm just pretty much pushing everything that I have on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
I have Respect the Flow, which
Yes.
is an original hip hop series
Mm-hmm.
where I come to your hood and I get to know you, the artist. I get to
Mm-hmm.
know where you're from. I get to follow you and go with you to the studio. I get to
Wow.
dive into your world and show the world that. So that's the first show that I have that
Okay.
just dropped today.
Okay.
And stay tuned. I have a lot of artists, a lot of female artists coming up, male artists, dope artists, and people that you should definitely keep an eye for. And I have a cooking show with Charles Oakley coming
Yeah.
out in the summertime,
Okay.
and that's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
And just stay tuned. I'm always shooting, always looking for talent, always looking for new ideas. And yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram. It's at Sasha Delvalle. And if you want to reach out for any show ideas, you could email me as well. I also have that. It's on my page. It's in my bio. So
Perfect.
yeah.
And one last question. With you doing so many things, um, the next 5 years, what are some goals that you have some things that you want to accomplish that you haven't?
Well, I mean, I would like to get acquired. So I would like to build my business, my production company to the point where I get bought out,
Mm-hmm.
and I could just relax,
Yes.
have a family, and just sail off in the sunset. That's it. That's my
Beautiful.
goal. I'm focused. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to do everything that I want to do and that I've always wanted to do. I'm not worried about what anyone has to say. I'm just doing me right now. And I'm going to continue to stay on the train, and I'm getting back into the acting. So who knows?
Yes.
You might see me on a big screen again.
And that sounds incredible, Sasha. I just, even as you were talking, and I seen where you were just saying too that you're giving, opportunities to people. I have an empowerment company of women, working together, and I wanted to know. It seems like you're about giving opportunities to women. How is it important to you, working with alongside women and giving opportunities to women?
Well, it's important for me because I feel like I've been in the industry and in the game for a long time. So, when I see a lot of women like me, you know, in this space, I'm like, okay, I know better. I'm older. I've been in the space a little bit longer than you guys, so I could drop some gems and I could put you on game and I could tell you how to navigate it.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that
Yeah.
because that's what I wish a lot of other women would have done for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
just need guidance.
Right.
And, you know, if I could be the one to provide that, and even if it's just a little bit like, hey, you know what, you should look into opening a business, or don't do it that way because in the long run, it's not going to benefit you. Maybe do it this way, or secure yourself by doing this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be that person.
That's incredible. I love that. I love that. And
I
again,
love what you're doing too. Thank you so
thank
much for
you.
reaching out. This
Oh,
was such a great interview. I love how you did your research, and
thank
you asked
you.
some really, really, really great questions.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank you for doing the show. I comment under your pictures, I say beautiful inside out because I could tell instantly that you had a beautiful spirit. So I really feel like,
Thank you.
yeah, not just the physical beauty, but the inward beauty. I feel like the sky is the limit. It's not even the limit for you. I think that, great things are in store. And I just want to wish you the best of blessings with everything that you're doing. And again, thank you so much for being
Thank
a part of the
you. For
show.
you as
Yes.
well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That's right. I just want
Yes.
all of us to win.
Yes,
It's a
absolutely.
women movement right now.
Exactly, exactly. And even taking that control like you said you did. That's what the young girls coming up need to know. You know what I mean? And in this
Mm-hmm.
interview, I'm sure it's going to inspire a lot of people to realize that it's important to take control. Don't allow people to limit you. And that's what you did. You didn't allow them to limit you in Los Angeles and put this. It's really hard because I know how it is in LA. I've been through it, but I like the fact that you broke out of it and you took control and you created Overtime Productions, and it just gave you a beautiful story. And I thank you again for just telling that beautiful story. And so now we see, you know what I mean, behind the glitz and the glam, what you did, overcome. And it's led you to this. And it's like I said, it's only going to get greater and greater.
That's right. It gets greater later. And one
Yes.
thing that I want to let the people know is sometimes you're not going to have anybody
Mm-hmm.
there as a cheerleader cheering you
Yes.
on. Sometimes
Yes.
you have to run off your own energy.
Yes.
And, getting into this production side, there was a lot of times where I'm like, I don't know this,
Yeah.
I'm learning this.
Yeah.
And, you want to give up. Sometimes you're like, yo, you know what? This isn't happening fast enough.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
it's just, you just got to stick in there and just keep
Yes.
going. Like I said, sometimes you're going to have to run off your own energy.
Yes.
Sometimes you're not going to have people supporting you. Sometimes, you're going to do something and you think a lot of people are going to cheer for you and they don't. They,
Exactly.
like, they don't
Yes.
support.
They don't
So
support.
it's a lot of that stuff.
Yes.
When you try to become a business person, or when you're trying to take your whatever it is that you're doing to the next level, you're
Yeah.
gonna go through a lot of those things.
You're gonna
So
go
you
through
just
it.
gotta stay focused.
Mm.
You can't worry about what everybody else thinks, or if they like it or not.
Exactly.
How do you feel about it?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, be strong.
Mm-hmm.
And buckle down.
Mm-hmm.
Buckle down and stay focused.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those words. I'm telling you, I know that this is going to really, really empower the women, the young girls, and people that are in this position where what we talked about in the beginning, they don't know to start. They think they don't have enough. And you even said something too where you hit on it as far as being self-motivated. You know what I mean? People are not going to clap for you. And then you said something good, because this is what it's also about too on this show, is to really, really inspire and motivate people to really get moving. Again, as I said, you see these people and you see their winning side and you see the success, but you don't know what they've gone through, you know what I mean, to get there. And a
That's
lot of
right.
people don't know that you probably went through that phase in Los Angeles where it was difficult and they tried to limit you, but you broke through that. And so I know there's girls that have left the East Coast now and they're in that place. And so that's what they need. You know what I mean? That encouragement that they can do it. You also said, my goodness, is like, I don't know why that thought, but you touched on it. I'm not, I'm gonna leave it alone, but
You have to put yourself in a game. Like,
yes, exactly. You have to put yourself in it, exactly, and that's what you did, and you're a testimony to that.
Yes.
Yes,
I am actually, because you know what? I love what Jay-Z, he has this quote that he says, the genius thing I did was that I never gave up.
Yes.
And that is the truth, because the minute you give up, you don't know, like,
Yes.
that the next step could have been that step that you were looking for, and
Exactly.
you climbed all these steps and now you took yourself out the game.
Yes.
You don't want to do that. You want to stick in there, have a plan, like I said, there's going to be times where you don't have a cheerleader cheering you on.
Yeah.
That's when you got to run off your own energy, and if things don't work, figure out another way to do it. Sometimes you think it's going to work this way and you figure out a different way, a different method, and then it works. So just keep going, keep trying till you figure it out.
Yes, that's so good, Sasha. You actually went back into it when you said that, when you gave that Jay-Z quote. That was actually what I was trying to say when you were saying don't quit. So that's the thing. A lot of people, they think once they get in it, boom, it's going to happen. And they don't realize nothing happens overnight, especially greatness.
That's right. I mean, a lot of things take years.
Yes.
Everything has been, like, every transition in my life, it didn't happen right away.
Mm.
It took time.
Yes. Yes.
So a lot of people think, and that's what, not to go back to it, but
yeah.
When I was doing the bartending, I knew that it was going to take time for me to transition into something else.
Yeah.
Because working in the nightlife, it could throw everything off for you. You know, where you go to get a job.
Yeah.
And it's not the same pay.
Yeah.
As what you make in an hour or a day.
Right.
Those things can affect you. That's the reason why some women stay longer bartending, because they can't leave the money.
Wow.
So,
wow. And that's,
things seem, it takes time, but if you have a plan and you just keep at it, you'll get there.
You'll get there. So the goal is to not stop, not stop, right?
And don't compare where you at in life to others.
Right.
Right? Because your journey is your journey.
Right.
It might take you a different route. It might take you longer, but there's certain things that you need to learn in that time frame that is taking you longer.
Right.
That is for you.
Right.
You might have a different path that's going to require something else.
Right. Exactly.
So don't compare yourself to other people, and don't be hard on yourself, because a lot of times you want things to happen right away, and then you see someone and you're like, oh my God, it seems like this is working for them, or they're making so much money that they're able to do other things. I know that could be stressful. I know it can be, but as long as you worry about you and what you have in front of you and what you're doing, you'll be fine.
I think comparison is the enemy, right? A lot of times that's what people do. They spend a lot of time comparing and competing, when I feel it's important for us to focus on ourselves. Like you said, what's for them is for them. Your journey is so different. And I think when more people begin to accept their own personal journey, the beauty in that alone, they don't realize that the fault, how do you get the letdown, I don't know what's happening right now in my mind, but basically not getting there at the time that you think that you should get there. That's all a part of your journey, and that it's all working for you, just like you. I'm sure in the process and you going through these different things, you could have thought about, oh, what about such and such and such and such, but you can tell that you stayed focused on your own path. You know what I mean? And that's so important.
That's right.
A lot of the kids, they don't know that nowadays. They look at the big stars and this person and that person, and like you said, how they made it and how it happened for them, when we're all on a different journey. We're all on a different path, but we have to embrace our own journey. And I feel like that's what you've done. You've embraced your journey and you accept it for what it is and what it's become for you, right?
That's right. And I'm taking it day by day. That's also important. Like, take things day by day. Things could be so stressful with trying to meet a deadline that you create for yourself. Sometimes you put pressure on yourself by trying to have it all figured out. If I don't have it figured out by this time, it's the end of the world. You have to get yourself out of thinking that way too. That's not a good way.
That's so true. Right. We can't say it has to happen by this time, God is in control of that. We just have to keep pushing, keep going until we obtain it, right?
That's right.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you again.
Thank you. I'm
Sasha.
excited. I can't wait to see the interview.
Oh, I'm excited too. I definitely am excited. And I can't wait to check out your other stuff. Can you tell them again where we can find the new show, on what platform is that again?
Yes. So my new show called Respect the Flow, you can find it on forusbyus.com.
Gotcha. And then the show with Sabrina and Lamar is on what platform?
It's also on there
awesome.
as well. And then make sure,
yes,
I have another book coming out for Black History Month. It's going to be coming out this month. I have a lot of dope, cool projects and collaborations for books coming up. So make sure you check it out.
Yes.
It's on Amazon. It's in English and in Spanish.
Gotcha. And then you can be found on social media on under what?
At Sasha Delvalle.
Perfect. Perfect. So I'm sure they're going to be chasing everything that you're doing down. Again, thank you so much, Sasha. And I look
Thank you
forward
for
to
having
seeing,
me.
yes, absolutely, everything that you're doing. I'll probably check back in with you in 6 months to see how everything is going.
Absolutely. I would love that.
Yes, sounds good. All right. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Take
You
care.
have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.